I first moved to Beaufort in 1993. I was serving as a drill instructor, and we just decided to never leave. So 31 years. I do. I have all of the above. I have a spouse named Dina. We've been together for about 29 years. 2 kiddos, Cooper, who is currently 18, and Kira, our daughter, who is currently 25. And then we have 3 cats. Only one matters, and her name is Pip E. Squeak. She's my cat. As far as hobbies and interests, I like anything having to do with water, be on or in the water, but honestly, my main hobby, the thing I enjoy most, is reading. I'll read anything you put in front of me. I'm currently reading a book on the history of Ireland since the Stone Age, and before that, I was reading a book about the history of the mafia. So anything that kind of makes my world bigger, I enjoy. As far as what attracted me initially, locally, to the local real estate industry, I come from a long line of very short lines. Both my parents died very young, so I've never had like adult supervision or guidance in my life. And I came to a point in the late 90s where Dina and I wanted to buy our first home. Didn't know how to do that, and didn't know at the time, but wasn't in a financial scenario to be able to do that, but didn't know. So, I read a lot of books about real estate and thought, you know what, maybe we could do this. Maybe we could buy our first home and maybe even invest in real estate. And at the time, we had no business doing that. I was actually living in a kind of fallen apart old rented double wide out in the farthest reaches of St. Helena. But decided, who do we talk to? We went downtown on Bay Street and talked to a realtor. And I kind of laid out to this realtor all of our plans. We'd like to buy our first home and we'd like to start investing and doing things like that. I laid all this out, this whole story. And this realtor, her instinctive reaction was, she laughed. She laughed in our face because she thought that was funny. And she was right. We weren't in a position to do anything at that time, but it was very insulting. So I didn't give up. I read more books, and I ended up meeting somebody, a local gentleman by the name of Ray Scribner, who was an old retired Marine, but had done a lot in real estate over the years. And he started kind of giving us guidance, and one thing led to another, and that changed the trajectory of our life, allowed us to start not only buy our first home, but eventually start dabbling in investment and doing some fixer-uppers, which then led to us being able to be full-time real estate agent. But all that happened because somebody took the time to listen and to give us guidance, as opposed to somebody whose time we were not worth. And it was that motivation, that was the catalyst that wanted me to be able to hopefully have that same impact on other people's lives. As far as my personal key to success, honestly, I think for myself, especially as it relates to the real estate world, is to treat every single transaction as if it was my own. Whether that client's buying, maybe their first home or maybe a, fairly inexpensive lot, or whether they're buying a multi-million-dollar property, that transaction going on at that time is the single most important fiscal thing going on in their lives. It may be the most important thing ever going on in their life from a fiscal perspective. So to treat every single transaction with the same importance as if it was my own. My thoughts on the tools and trainings and everything else offered via C21 and us, C21 Coastal Town Realty, they're spectacular. I've done real estate now in the area for about 27 years, and I've been involved with a lot of brokerages before we had our own and before we partnered with C21. And in all my experience, a lot of people give a good talk towards tools and training and things offered for the consumer, but I have never, in my almost now 3 decades of real estate experience, seen anything that compares to the quality of training and tools and technology available via C21. It's just absolutely peerless in the industry. As far as what I'm most proud of, you can put that in different spheres, occupationally, life, whatever, but no matter how you slice it, I have to say, without question, the thing I am most proud of is my family. My wife, Dina, both my kids, and of course my cat, Pip E. Squeak.